magical mirror from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Mirror, mirror, could you tell me who is the most beautiful woman in this world? And dun 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 dun. Oh, holy shit. Okay. My Chinese name is Zhou Yan, and I was born in Shanxi province, China. In 2017, I graduated from Nanjing Audit University, and my undergraduate major was accounting. And now I'm studying accounting at UPD. So you can see I'm a real fan of accounting. What I like? First of all, I like to balance work and leisure because life is mine, not anyone else's. In my leisure time, I like doing sport. Okay. Secondly, I like the prefer to get a job that's get me rich. I don't want to be as rich as our professor, but I do want to live. Uh, at last, I want to get a creative job because I like the life full of surprises. What I dislike, first of all, I don't like the excessive pressure because I know proper is enough, but not too much on me. Just like a bottle, you can fill water in it, but if you fill too much, it will be leaking. Okay, and secondly, I don't like the unfriendly atmosphere. If there is always office politics, please let me go. Do you understand what's the office politics? It means that everybody is friendly just on appearance, but they are gossiping behind your back. And the relationship just like the plastic flower. Uh, the plastic flower, I can explain here, it's just like it will never fade, but it's just a fake. The plastic flower. And last, I don't want to traveling by air because I'm so afraid of the turbulence. Don't ask me. I don't know how I got here. And there is a SWOT analysis of me. My strength is that I have passed the CPA and CMA exam, and I'm also an optimistic person. But my weakness is that my oral English isn't very good. Uh, so my personal development goal for this semester is to improve my public speaking skills to give an in-class presentation for this semester. I choose the theme is the CPA exam because I passed it, so I can see the CPA exam is so easy. Just the 1%, just the 1% easy, 99% hard. And here is my career and company research using the Find Your Fit tool from this way to CPA website. Here is the result and my evaluation. Uh, Next is my position research. I listed four positions here, both banker, auditor, and activity planner. Let's use Google to find the qualifications for these positions. The boss is usually a leading position in your group, so she or he should have comprehensive abilities like knowing a lot about industry, managing, controlling, and others. So it's true that what you earn equals what you devote. And the auditor relates to our major accounting, so I suppose everybody knows a little bit about that, so I will pass this part. And next, the banker. Actually, banker is more related to finance, so I will leave this alone. Next is activity planner. Activity planner. Why I list it here? Because I like it. I think it's a creative job, so maybe I will try in the future. So you can just have a quick look. Uh, Actually, I think a lot of people will meet some contractions while finding a job. For example, your preference versus your reality, your heart versus your parents, and yourself versus others. So it's very important to have a professional development plan. Next part is my company research. Morgan Stanley, PwC, Alipay company. The Morgan Stanley for me, it means fortune, so I definitely want to join the team. And the PwC, it has the CSI project and the Chinese students who are studying abroad. And the schedule is also flexible. The Alipay, it's a little like the Apple Pay. In China, we are called Jack Ma, the boss of the Alipay as father. Why? Because they can control control almost everything. So why not be a member of other corporation? The Unilever. The Unilever is a company which produces a lot of daily supplies, and the Aurora, a very professional company which produces, I think, produces dreams for women, beautiful dreams. Next part is my 5-year schedule. I think this is the hardest part in the whole plan because I need to figure out several problems like this, and I think only God knows the answers to these questions. For this year, the biggest challenge for me is to improve my oral English. I want to be brave enough to express myself. For the coming year, I want to travel to Chengdu and Chongqing because there are a lot of delicious food there. In 2021, I think I'd like to settle down and have a relationship.
So it's impacting all the aspects of life. That's very clearly communicated.
In 2022, I think I need to spend more time with my parents, maybe take them to travel together. And in 5 years, I think I will take my own family. Here are my network opportunities. And I shared this plan with my friends, and they gave some comments on it. At last, before I started, I did a lot of research on this field, and I have asked my professors, my family, and my parents, my friends for advice, and their answer is pretty much the same. Just do yourself. Your future depends on your choice, and you should be responsible for your decision. And I think it's true because the joys and the sorrows of life only could be tasted by ourselves. So, here, thanks to the chance provided by our professor to know more about myself, and thanks to support from my professors, my family, and my friends, and thanks everybody for listening.
So you actually are way below on time. You're just 8 minutes. So can you take some questions from people? Anyone have questions for Zoe? Tell me a little more about the activity planner position.
It's just in the corporation for the activity planner is to design some activities for other groups. Like, for example, if our class want to take a trip or take some activities, the activity planner can make the plan for us and take us to do something.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions? So CPA exam. Did anyone else have a question? I was going to ask about the CPA exam, but so you've already passed the CPA
Yeah, in Guam.
in Guam,
Yeah, Guam.
and you said it was easy.
I see. Just
Tell us more about that.
1% easy.
Oh, it's 1% easy and 99% hard.
Yes. Actually, I started.
Oh, okay. So it's really not that easy.
Actually, I studied the AICPA in my undergraduate level. At my undergraduate level, I studied this for 3 years, 2 years. The first year I studied the. I couldn't remember clearly. Too much content in my brain. So I studied the CPA for 2 years and prepared each exam for 1 month, and went to the Guam for test. Because the requirement for Guam CPA is lower than Texas, it only needs 120 credits for the CPA exam. So when I finished my undergraduate courses, I can enter the test.
So you in Guam you only need 120 credits, but then finish it, you have to finish the 150, right? Do you have to finish the 150?
No, just need just you qualify for the requirement for the 120 credits. You can pass the exam.
Okay, and so Guam doesn't require 150 hours?
Yes, yes.
It does not, or it does?
It does not.
Oh, I didn't. Okay, I thought every state required the 150.
And even you don't have the work.
Mexico doesn't, and Guam doesn't.
Georgia doesn't.
What does Georgia require?
120 and then 30 upper level
Oh
counting.
my gosh!
A lot
I
of
thought.
those, a lot of those southeast schools too do 120 like in progress. You have to be in progress with the 150, but like you can have.
I thought 150 was the requirement across the board.
It's just only Texas.
Texas is the most stringent for sure.
Yes, yes, and even you don't have the working experience, you can apply for an activity certificate for the CPA in Guam. And if you have 1 year working experience related to AICPA code, you can apply for the active certificate.
Okay. Now, I didn't ask people for feedback, so I'm just going to call on people. So that means hopefully everyone has something to say. So I'm going to start with Sherry. What would you say tell a little bit about strengths, opportunities, what you learned about Zoe, and what your favorite thing was?
Well, first of all, I think Zoe make a very good presentation, and I think she has a very interesting beginning and very attracting, and she also has some funny examples like Jack Ma. We call Jack Ma as father, and Zoe seems very comfortable and confident there, and I also think the PPT, the slides is very creative. She adds a lot of pictures and funny examples. And for the opportunities, I think Zoe seems a little too rushed to speak too quickly. And what I learned is Zoe mentioned before that she has poor oral English. But I think if someone can speak confidently like Zoe does, I can totally ignore your accent or poor oral English. So just be confident. I think Zoe did very good there. And my favorite part is the interesting beginning about the mirror.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. Great. Let's see, John.
I think it's a very good presentation too, and I think the strength is your voice is really good. It's not too loud and not too low, so I think I love it. And your stories make everybody laugh, and yeah, it's cool. And I think you speak really influent and consistent. So your examples you need to reflect on your example because your examples are really good and you are really confident on that. And for opportunity parts, I think the animation of the PowerPoint can be more simple. It's like there's some shining part for 2 or 3 PowerPoint, so I think it can be more simple. And what I learned is how to start the presentation in a funny way. So I think I can do that in our final presentation. And I think the beginning part is my favorite part too. Yeah, so well done.
Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Vincent, what do you think?
I think she's very confident and the content is very funny and yeah, the last two person already said most of that.
Okay.
And the only suggestion I want to say is that if you can speak a little bit slow, then you can. And what I learned is that CPA exam experience. Yeah, that's it. And the very
Okay. Good job. Matan.
So, some of the strengths, I like the PowerPoint. It was really concise. The graphics were kind of explained the PowerPoint even without the words. I like the story at the beginning. It was a great way to engage the audience, to make them more attentive to the PowerPoint, to your presentation. some of the slides you maybe you talk about one point on it, and then it immediately jumps on the next. There was not enough timing in between it. The timing was a little bit off. And I noticed on the SWOT analysis, you only talk about strengths and weaknesses. Maybe opportunities and threats as well. Those were a little bit missing. Something I learned, you're a CPA. You got the CPA and the CMA. That's awesome. Like I think that deserves an applause.
Yeah, that does. Really, really nice.
I found like the companies that you chose were really good. I like how you did research on at PwC and saw that program. It's a really nice way to get involved with PwC, and I'm definitely encouraged to continue ahead with that. And I'll have to agree with Sherry. I think my favorite part was talking about Jack Ma. That was absolutely hilarious.
That was great. Okay, Brinley?
I really enjoyed the story aspect. That was really refreshing. I liked it a lot. I noticed that there were just some grammatical issues on some of the slides. Just some of that and some formatting issues. Just just a small amount of that. But overall, it was actually a really good quality PowerPoint. I really enjoyed the pictures, and it was very creative. I didn't know an activity planner was, so that was cool. I think my favorite was the Snow White part at the beginning.
Yeah, really, really great stuff. You're doing a lot of really great things in your presenting. And on the second time that you present, there's a few things I'd like to see you doing a little bit more of. One would be maybe walking around a little bit more. You did look back at your slide. If you're kind of walking around, it makes it easier to look back at your slide and not make it feel like you're looking back at the slide. So when you're looking at it, you want to make sure you never have your back to the audience. So if you're looking at it, like maybe come over here, open yourself up. Like when you're here, you open yourself up, you kind of look at it, open yourself up a little bit more. Your use of humor was fantastic. That was probably my favorite part, is that you used it throughout your presentation. To echo some of what Brinley said, I did see some grammar and formatting. A lot of times when you take your presentation and put it onto my computer, it does get off a little, so it's good to check that before, come into the class, check it before, make those changes so that when you're doing the final presentation, you're not having to worry about that. There's probably the biggest thing on your slides is when you are on a slide, spend time. You had enough time with 15 minutes to have spent time on all the slides that you rushed through. So I would have expected you to have gone through the detail on those slides and spent some more on those slides. A couple of pronunciation things, but again, I can't remember who it was, maybe Sherry or someone said, you have so much confidence up there. I'm not going to worry that much about the pronunciation because I feel like you're very confident. And but that said, just make sure on some words, if you're not sure, practice those words before you go. I found out, yes, I didn't realize, I guess you've told me you were a CPA and CMA, and I couldn't remember that, so that's fantastic. I also learned you have a great sense of humor. My favorite part was a little bit different. I did like the beginning in Jack Ma, but I thought it was funny, get married, take my care of my, I thought that was really funny. But yeah, spend a little bit more time, and then when you see the presentation, you and I can kind of work through this for your next one. I know that the PowerPoint for my class required a lot of more words than you would normally have. So probably what you could do on some of those slides is reduce the amount of words for a presentation and then just talk about, then tell the stories based on that. So that would have been maybe the way that I would have done it. Just because you turned it into me in a certain way doesn't mean you can't change it for when you present it, because sometimes that'll make it easier. You want to be careful about how many words you have on the page and making sure that's not going to be taking away from it. The reflection slide, you explained it really well, but I didn't feel like there were enough words there on the reflection to explain it, truly explain what it was that you had gotten out of it. But overall, I think you did great. I mean, I really wouldn't say that you have a lot of weaknesses in your presenting. It's just some minor tweaks. So let's give her a round of applause. Okay.